Are you a filmmaker or a photographer looking for a new gear you might want to buy?
Where'd you come from?
Or just somebody who is interested in what other people have in their camera bags?
I mean, yeah.
Well, I'm going to share what's in my bag right now. Let's get to it. I'm Jesse, pro videographer and small filmmaker. And my mission is to help small filmmakers tell Hollywood-level stories. Hit that subscribe button because we're going to be doing gear reviews, behind-the-scenes looks, and of course short films to help us all be proficient storytellers. The gear inside of here is absolutely capable of telling great stories at a minimal cost. So, are you guys ready?
I mean, yeah.
All right, let's get into it. The first item that I should talk about is my backpack. I recently got this from Douchebags. Yes, it's called Douchebags. The whole backpack is called a Backpack Pro, and then I'll zip it open here. Inside is what's called a CIA Pro insert. This insert is completely customizable and it makes it great for your camera equipment. First, let's start off with this top zipper here. Inside of here, I've got one tripod mount. Of course, if you're starting off in filmmaking, you're definitely gonna need tripods. Here we have a DJI Ronin SC mount. At first, I had a lot of trouble screwing in the screws because you can't directly place them in this middle part here, but if you pull them all the way over to the side, then you're able to push them through easily. Let's unzip these here. Here I have two ND filters, or neutral density filters. When I started my full-time job, I didn't necessarily know everything about videography, but as I got into it and went on a couple of shoots, I realized, wow, shooting into the sun can really blow out your footage. And so I decided to get an ND filter based off some research. And make sure you get a variable ND filter like this one for the 67mm, because then you can adjust how efficient you want the ND filter to work, and then you don't have to have grainy footage. In this pouch, we have a Canon Rebel T7i charger. Self-explanatory. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty of it. First of all, we're gonna start with the Mic NTG. When I first started my full-time job as a videographer, I knew I was gonna need some sort of shotgun mic to put on top of my camera. This one can be really efficient in getting those run-and-gun type of shots when you're doing videography. The best way to use this microphone is to turn the manual volume in your camera all the way down and turn the volume on this one all the way up to 15. 67mm lens, really get those wide shots that you need for something like real estate at a cheap price. I believe I got this for not much more than $150. Here we have some lens hoods, and here I have a Lav Mic. I got it white to match my new Rode Wireless Go. And just make sure when you're putting this onto a client that the actual microphone part doesn't hit their shirt. All right, let's go for the DJI Ronin SC. So this guy has been really helpful for me because when I first started off my full-time job, I really needed to elevate my cinematography game. So I needed to make my footage more stable. This has a motor inside of it. It's really efficient. It takes like 5 minutes to calibrate, and instantly my boss is like, wow, that footage is way better than it was before. So highly recommend this DJI Ronin SC. I'm actually doing a giveaway of it at 1,000 subscribers. So if you subscribe, like, and comment, you have a chance to win at that point. Here we have the Canon Rebel T7i. I have really fond memories of this camera because it was my first real camera, and I got this in 2018. I knew I wanted to get into filmmaking and videography, but didn't exactly know how or what that looked like, and didn't even have any confidence that I would be able to do it. But this really gave me the confidence that I would be able to do it. Here we have my favorite lens, and just like the DJI Ronin SC really elevated my cinematography and gave me more of a cinematic look, I would say that this lens is the one that really elevated my game too as a beginner. It has an f-stop of 1.8, and if you want me to give this away, maybe we can do a giveaway for it. Maybe at like 200 subscribers. Let me know in the comments if you want that to happen. Almost forgot about this one. This is the MacBook Pro Touch ID, and this thing has been really good to me over the years. However, I have run into some problems because it only has 8 GB of RAM. When I'm editing, sometimes it can just overload. You get that color wheel of death, but just make sure that you have enough space on your hard drive to be able to handle editing along with Photoshop. Let's check out this pouch on top. And here I have the Zoom H1n Recorder. This has been a great recorder. I've used this for countless client projects, and you can adjust the levels with a dial here, the decibel levels. I highly recommend this Zoom H1n. Pretty cheap and does the job really well. Mokin Adapter. When I got the MacBook Pro, I didn't necessarily think about how easy it would be to just have an SD port on your laptop. The MacBook Pro didn't end up having one, so I had to get this adapter. This one really came in handy. It's around 30 bucks, has an SD port, has a micro SD port for your audio, has 2 USB ports and an HDMI port if you want to connect it to your TV. Rode Wireless Go. I just got this thing. I wanted to get it in white to look nice and clean and to match my backpack. This thing has been beautiful so far. It's transmitting directly into the camera, so in post I'm not even gonna have to attach the audio to the video. It's already in there. 18-55mm kit lens that came with the Rebel T7i. Yes, it's not the best lens in the world, it's a kit lens, but it got me started, and it has I think 4.5 f-stop, and that lens is on the Canon 90D. This thing can go down to 24 frames per second at 4K, 60 frames per second at 1080p, and 120 frames per second also at 1080p. I've been using it all the time. I just used it for a short film, and if you'd like to see it in action in that short film, click this link right here.
Where the heck did he come from?